Some proxies, some credentials, two ports. One holds your IP still and one swaps it on the carrier schedule. Pick the wrong one and your login dies halfway through, or your scraper hammers 1,000 pages from a single address. This is how to choose, and it takes about 5 minutes to never get it wrong again. I run a hardware proxy farm in Singapore. Real phones, real SIM cards from Singtel, M1 and StarHub. So I set up sticky and rotating endpoints every single day, and I can tell you the good news up front. This is not a tier you pay more for, it is a port you connect to. Here is the plain version before the detail. Use a sticky IP when the job has to be remembered as one person, a login, a checkout, and a count session. Use a rotating IP when each request stands on its own, price checks, search results, white scrapes, pick the wrong one and the proxy works perfectly while quietly ruining the job. Frequent to unlearn is that sticky and rotating are two products. There are two endpoints on the same line. One modem on my farm gives you a sticky port and a rotating port. Same phone, same SIM, same credentials, you just point at the one that matches the job in front of you. That means the real decision happens before you connect, not after you buy. The question is never which should I buy. It is which does this specific task need. And that comes down to one thing. Does the work need to be remembered as a single person, or is each request a stranger? Sticky wins whenever something has to finish on one identity. A login is the clearest case. You send a username, a password, sometimes a two-factor code, and the site watches all of it arrive from one address. A checkout is the same. You browse, add to cart, and pay across several requests that need to look like one shopper. Account warm-up, posting, filling a long form, all of it wants sticky. The rule is simple. If a human would do it in one sitting on one phone, use a sticky IP. The whole point of running multiple accounts safely is that each account looks like one consistent person, and the stable IP is half of that picture. Rotating wins when each request is independent, and you do not want 1,000 of them coming from one address. Price checks across a catalog, search results, gathering listings, any wide read where request number 900 has nothing to do with request number 1. Spreading that load across many carrier IPs is what keeps you under the per IP rate limits and looking like normal traffic instead of one machine pounding a site. The mental model is that rotating is for strangers. Every request can be a different person on a different phone because none of them need to remember the others. Now the two failure modes that catch almost everyone. The first is rotating in the middle of a login. You connect to the rotating port, start to login, and the IP changes between the password and the two-factor step. The site sees one person turn into two, and it flags the account. The proxy did its job, you just asked it to rotate at the worst possible moment. The second is using sticky for a giant crawl. You connect to the sticky port and fire 10,000 requests through one held IP. That single address carries all the load, trips the rate limit, and starts handing you errors. The proxy held the IP exactly like you asked. You just asked one IP to do a job meant for many. Both of these look like a faulty proxy. Neither one is. You picked the wrong port for the task, and once you see it that way, the fix is obvious. Real setups often need both, and that is fine because both live on the same account. A common shape is rotating for the anonymous reads and sticky for the logged-in actions. Pull your listings on the rotating ports so the wide read spreads across IPs, then switch to the sticky port for the part where you are logged in so that session stays on one address. You do not need two subscriptions for this. You need to point each part of your code at the right endpoint. Two ports, one account, each task on the line that suits it. One thing trips people up about rotation itself. A rotating IP is not random. It moves within the carrier's own range on a schedule, the way every real phone gets a new address as the network manages its pool. Some setups also let you force a fresh IP on demand. Either way, you are talking to a stable gateway and the IP behind it changes, so you never hard-code the raw rotating address. As I'm speaking, is that same gateway holding the address still for your window, instead of cycling it. Knowing your window matters. It is minutes to about an hour depending on the line, not forever, so finish the session inside it. Strip everything else away and you get one question. Does this task need to be remembered as one person? Then use sticky. Is each request a stranger that owes nothing to the others? Then use rotating. That single distinction picks the right port for almost everything you will ever do. If you want to feel the difference instead of just hearing about it, there is a free trial of Singapore Mobile Proxy, real SIMs on Singtel, M1 and StarHub from my own farm. You get both a sticky and a rotating endpoint, so you can run a login on one and a wide pull on the other in the first 10 minutes. The link is in the description pointing to the home page. If this made it click, subscribe, because the next video settles 4G versus 5G mobile proxies and which one is actually worth buying. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.